Is going on, you guys? Richard Doyle coming back at you again today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today is Tuesday, November 12th. Another beautiful day. Sun is shining. Looks tremendous outside today. Couldn't be more blessed and prosperous. And if, of course, you don't feel that way, a little bit of pepper we're going to sprinkle on your day today. And, of course, throw those avalanches of abundance and prosperity at you. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday today. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So I prefaced today's video on the Facebook page, and what of course we're going to be talking about today is why it's so crucial for you to read books, okay? I remember on my journey, I was never really a huge reader. I felt like when I was growing up, I was forced to read. I never had any sort of inclination nor any desire to want to pick up a book and read it from start to finish. And now I'm reading 5 books at a time. Some of those books include Think and Grow Rich, Ask and It Is Given. There's one of them by Eli Rook. It's called The Big Effin' Secret. And there's just more and more books that I'm always consistently picking up. Magic of Thinking Big, of course. And then The Origins of Consciousness and the Breakdown of the Bicameral Mind by Julian Jaynes. So that's just a few that I read, but I have a whole library full of books that at any given time, if there's anything that I want to learn, I have that at the tips of my fingers, or in this case, on my bookshelf itself. So why is it so important to read? Why is it so important to put the remote control down and not fill your head with garbage, but start filling your head with books and learning and self-development? The first reason for that, number one, is your imagination. What this is going to help you do on your journey toward achieving what you want is thinking bigger, okay, and having an imagination and a way to paint a picture of what you want that future to look like. It expands your possibilities, right? And so when you start to read a book, maybe by the time you start reading it, you're like, I really don't know how I'm going to go get my dreams. But now you read that book, The Magic of Thinking Big, for instance, and you start to think to yourself, oh my God, this is actually going to happen. Like it expands it expands what you think can happen, and it starts to expand your imagination for the things that are possible out there for you. And it gets you out of the thinking small stage and moves you to a thinking bigger stage, which moves me into number 2. What it really does is it expands your belief level, right? When you first start this journey, and especially if you come from an environment where you don't have a lot of positivity, you don't have a lot of belief, people around you haven't really achieved much, it's going to be important for you to start expanding what you believe is possible. And it's going to start being important for you to start getting that mind reconditioned and ultimately working on those neural pathways. So reading books, what it does is it helps to build that belief level a little bit, because it gives real life examples of people that have achieved great things in life and how they actually did it. And then when you start to see how they did it, you're like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it too. And so you start to build yourself up with the possibility that, oh my God, what I want is actually true and I can actually go get it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is, of course, the how to, right? This is one of the things that a lot of people fail on in their journey is before they even get started with what they want or having a vision or imagination for what they want, they start to think about, well, how can I go and get that, right? And once they start to think about the how-to, that's it. Their belief level goes down. They don't think that there's any possible way that they can get this thing. So they stop thinking about it. They stop believing in it. They stop putting their focus and intention into it. And when that starts to happen, your dream starts to die. And that neural pathway that you just started is now no longer being used right off the bat because you don't know the how. And what you have to understand about what you want out of life and the law of attraction is that you don't have to know the how. The how is so irrelevant that it doesn't even matter because you couldn't even imagine how you were going to get that thing you want anyways. Law of attraction says that 99.9% of what you want is thoughts. Thoughts, vibrations, and intentions. That's it. The how is 0.0000001%. That's what it is. So when you can take your mind off the how and not even care how you're going to get there, but just know that you are going to get there because you've been building up that vision, that imagination, that belief, now you start to read books that start to give you ideas for how you can do things. And one of the best books to do that is Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich, tremendous book. It goes a lot into imagination, goes into the thought of mastermind, also goes into organized planning and how you can start putting definitive and definiteness of purpose and action into the thing that you want in order to go get it, okay? So the how will present itself when you raise your vibration, your thought process, and your belief level, and you start to read these books, because then you're going to start to get ideas for how you can do things, right? And then the last portion of why reading books is so crucial is because it is an expansion of self, okay? We talked a little bit about the expansion of your vision, an expansion of your belief, an expansion of what you think is possible, but there's so many more benefits that it does for you. It builds confidence in you. You start to see yourself changing for the better as you're reading these books, because you're implementing the things that these books talk about, right? So you're starting to see positive change, which builds confidence in you. On top of that, it also helps raise your spiritual belief, right? So you start to see your oneness with this universe. You start to see how you're a conscious creator of everything in your life. And a good book to start off with, if you want to learn more about how connected you are with this planet, is Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. That book tremendously changed my life because it showed me how connected I was with the universe and how my vibration of energy as well as thoughts are creating every single moment in my life. And then I took control of my life. I started realizing the power that I had. And so naturally it led to an expansion of self, and it led to this confidence in myself, right? And then of course, the last thing that it does is it teaches you how the brain actually works. Now I know I've been touching on it a little bit in this video, but books are going to be one of your best resources for figuring out how the mind and brain actually works. And a good book to read is Genie in Your Genes, #1, and also Psycho-Cybernetics, The New Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Both of those books are incredible because what they show you is how the mind actually works and how people have used their mind to overcome extreme challenges in their life. And when you start to realize just how simple it can be to actually reprogram your mind once you start working with it, that's when you start to realize, again, the power that you have, how much control you actually have over the rest of your life, and you start to get more expansive and you start to understand yourself more. So it's going to help with that expansion of self from a belief level to a vision standpoint, to an imagination standpoint, to a confidence level, to understanding how the law of attraction works, to how connected you are with the planet and with the universe. And all of these things are just a small sample size as to why it's important for you to read, because the more you read, the more you're going to pick up, the more educated you're going to be, the more you're going to start surrounding yourself with more people who read and are becoming better people. And that's another thing too, is networking. So there's a lot of things that will start to change in your life as you start to read books. And if you're not too comfortable with reading books right now, that's okay. Start small. Start with where you're at. So if that's a page a day, read a page a day. 5 pages a day, read 5 pages a day. If you're comfortable reading a half an hour a day, do so. But start today and read every single day for the rest of your life, and you're going to start to see these changes happen a little bit over time to eventually to the point where you are the best possible version of yourself, and you truly are that person that you always were meant to be when you first came to this planet. So I hope this video helped you guys. I couldn't be more thankful for the support that I've been getting on the channel. It's definitely been growing, definitely been getting a lot of awesome feedback, so I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed at this point, make sure you do so down below and hit the bell notification. Helps with the YouTube algorithms, but also helps notify you when a new video is coming out. Of course, we have a new video coming out Monday through Friday every single week, okay? And of course, if you want to know what tomorrow's topic is going to be all about, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Real Rick Doyle. We preface every day's videos the day before, okay? So you'll get a sneak preview as to what tomorrow's video is going to be about a little bit later today. And of course, drop a comment section in the comment section below with what books you're reading currently, okay? And what book single-handedly changed your life, okay? And also share this video with somebody who needs to hear it. And again, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. Couldn't be more blessed, prosperous, and abundance for prosperous and abundant for everything that's been happening in my life, and ultimately everything that's been happening in you guys' life, because we are truly raising the consciousness as a collective, as a whole, and I'm so thankful for that. I love you guys so much. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Peace.